Everybody. Or nobody, whoever's watching.
I'm Seth, that's Axel, that's BC, also known as Big Chocolate,
Big chocolate.
also known as Brandon. And we're here to talk about Pot of Desires. Okay, so new draw card, Dark Illusion. Thing comes out, it's already $30, probably only gonna go up. Basically what the card says, banish the top 10 cards of your deck face down, draw 2 cards.
I think it's stupid. Okay.
That
Let me
didn't
just
take
start
long.
saying
That didn't take
is
long.
that everyone has 40 cards in their deck at least, and here you are getting rid of a quarter of your deck for
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, that's like, what, 20%?
All right, so you're
25.
telling me if say
25%, yeah.
I run tuners and I throw away like 3 of them, I'm gonna fuck myself.
Yeah, that's you see. There's the camp. Like that's the thing is, all the guys I watch think the card is really good. They've like sat down and done the math. Well, like the odds of you throwing away everything. It's like, okay, dude, but like you're talking. People talk about this like it's in a vacuum. Like your deck exists in a vacuum. I don't see these people accounting for like interrupt plays or like floodgates or like if someone just like sure you might not get rid of all of them, but say like with your Buster Blader deck. Say
Right.
you banish 2 out of 3 of your whelps,
Oh,
and then when you go for your whelp play, someone bottomlesses it, or someone
Okay,
dimensional prisons
now
it.
first things first.
Not-
Here's why
not
that would
bottomless,
be
but dimensional
completely
prisons it.
horrible. With that kind of deck that I built, if Wealth gets sent banished, and there's 2 of them banished, I can't make my plays. And God forbid if my fusion cards for Destruction Swordsman fusion goes in there too, I can't cycle, which means it shuts down my entire deck.
And the other thing is that they're banished face down, and like a lot of people haven't thought about. I mean, Simo talked about it, but I haven't seen anybody else. There's like no cards in the game that let you get back stuff that's banished face down.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
I didn't even
like
know that was a thing.
there's no way to
Yeah.
get back cards that are banished face down that I know of, and there's like hundreds of thousands of freaking cards at this point. None of them do that. So like you are permanently giving up.
So get rid of a quarter
Yeah.
of your deck.
No.
Like, because when I was first thinking about it, I was thinking something like Phantom Knights, where I run a bunch of Escape from the Dark Dimension and DDRs. I'm like, okay, so I could and then I saw face down. I was like, ooh, I can't target face down things. But then on the other hand, like in a perfect world, say, and you do get those draw 2s, and it is it is what you need to just OTK right then.
Yeah, but it's not worth that balance, if you ask me. I think that there's so many other things, alternatives that you could use for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we saw that with Card of Demise, the other, like, crazy draw card that came out. Like, that card
How
made...
come people aren't using duality? You dig 3 cards in your deck.
Well, people don't run Duality just
Because you can't special summon the turn you use it.
Yeah, and this is such a special summon-heavy format. I mean, look at the big decks. You've got Cosmos, which is all about special summoning. You've got PK Fire, which is literally just all Xyz summoning.
Right.
And you've got, like, if you want to count Pendulum Magicians as a tier 1 deck, that's all Pendulum summoning, Xyz summoning. The only deck that doesn't really rely on it is friggin' Monarchs.
I don't know, let's try to think of, like, I guess the top tier deck, so just around here, let's say Cosmos. Would it be good in Cosmos? I don't think so.
Oh. Here's the thing, though. Cosmos is an explosion deck. It's an OTK deck. You can, if you get exactly what you need, you can just burn your opponent out for the 8k you need to wipe them out that one turn.
The chances that you throw, like, I don't know, your Strawman in there, your Tin Can, that's a hefty load.
Yeah, or God forbid you get rid of all 3 Dark Destroyers.
Yeah,
Oh
what
my
about,
God,
like, my Gem
imagine
Knights,
that.
all my fusions?
Dude,
Yeah, but
even if it's 2 of them.
People would make the argument that, like, those, like, Cosmos and Gem Knights are actually the decks to run it in. Because if you, well, think about it, you start your opening, the argument I've seen people give is that, it's like, yeah, I throw my stuff away. It's like, well, then search for what you need before you activate it. It's like, yeah, okay, but, like, what if you get...
So you're sitting on 1 card.
Yeah, what if you get interrupted? Like, what if you get boned by a Solemn? What if you get Solemn struck
Oh my god.
during your play? Like, it's just kind of over.
No.
Gatsby.
I would consider that GG.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's so risky to do it. Like,
And-
and again, like, there's so many other things that you could do instead.
I wouldn't even try to. Well, why would you even try to think twice?
There was a story I heard too that's like this is like the worst case scenario for the card, and it makes me really weird, like really wary of it. People are running 3 of it, obviously, because you know, typically whenever there's a new draw 2 card,
you
people at least
serious?
try it. Oh yeah, people will. If you're gonna run it, you're gonna run 3 of it.
No.
Here's the thing: this kid was.
card burn.
This kid was. Well, you don't activate all 3. You just play it once
Still,
to get
though.
what you need for the OTK. Like I know we don't play a lot of high tier tournaments, but like you'd be surprised how many games end in like turn 1 or 2 because you just get what you need for the 1-turn kill and then go for it. Like people don't care about a long game because there's not a lot of grind game right now, at least like not in theory. But anyway, this kid was playing a Blue Eyes deck, right? And I guess it was somebody dropped that Ally of Justice that stops you from special summoning light monsters. I don't remember what its name is, but if you can think of it, it should pop up right here.
What one?
I'll think of the name later. Edit this part out. Anyway, so the opponent dropped that, so he can special summon light monsters. You're a Blue Eyes player. Basically fucked. So he Pot of Desires, hoping like he could pull into like a Twin Twister or like an MST. And he drew into... I don't remember what the other card is, it's pointless. One of the cards he drew with Pot of Desires was another Pot of Desires. Yeah.
Holy.
So like...
I would just
that mathematically,
table.
that risk does exist. Like, obviously the odds of drawing both your other Pot of Desires are incredibly low, but even just drawing one other one, you screwed over the +1 the card gives you. You play it, you get rid of it, but you get to draw the 2. That's +1 card. But if you draw a second Pot of Desires, you just drew a dead card.
Almost every deck now has a fucking search card. I mean,
Yeah,
let's get over that real quick.
But that's also the argument people use for it, is that like every deck has search cards. Just search before you do your +1. And it's like,
What if you don't get them? What I see is you're holding a dead card in your hand
Yeah.
until you're just like, well, I think I can use this now.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, if I had to run one, honestly, what I'd do is I'd go over 40 in my card limit. I'd probably not
Like
60, but you know, just to make sure that I have all this extra stuff. That I mean, if it even did hit the grave, then Gatsby says hi.
That's awesome.
I
You can't see him, but we see him.
I would run all that extra stuff. I refuse. And I would only run one, because I mean, it gets through everything else, but I mean, what if in that draw 2 that you want, everything that's in the banish is what you want? Like, I don't know.
yeah, like Blue Eyes players, I've seen a lot of decks that are, you know, like a lot of Blue Eyes decks are just playing around with it. Like, you only have 3 fucking alternative dragons. You
Yeah.
only have 3 Chaos Max dragons. You only have 3 Sages with Eyes of Blue. Like, and even losing 1 or God forbid 2 of those is a big dent in your deck.
Oh yeah.
Like 10 cards is, yeah, it's a fourth of your deck. And I get that for most high tier decks you can sometimes get through the OTK, but basically the bottom line is why I would say no, I wouldn't run it, is I'm not going to play a card that can like almost guarantee me a loss.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
either you're either going to win or you're not going
It's
to.
way
Which I
too
get.
50-50.
Well, you know, I can understand how, like Cosmos, I guess if it's basically hope to be a OTK, then.
I don't know, the way I look at it is you can just bone yourself way too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I mean. Like, if you're that
guarantee-
crazy, I guess, but I would never
Well,
personally do it.
apparently the Yu-Gi-Oh community is that fucking crazy because the card's $30 and it's not going down. Like, I'll do a market watch on it at some point and see what the pricing is, but it's...
I'll add it in the video.
I don't know. There could
Yeah.
be something coming out with it that we just don't know about.
Well, here's the thing though, if it does end up being like super powerful and it is disrupting the meta, it'll just get hit by the ban list anyway, probably. I mean, obviously they're still going to want to sell Dark Illusion packs, but I don't think hitting one card will stop people from buying Dark Illusion,
I
because there's a
think-
lot of good stuff in there anyway.
I mean, even from popularity, they'll probably get the ban list just because people are going to complain about it.
Well, yeah, because that happened with Pepe.
Yep.
That did happen with, well, to be fair, Pepe was kind of ruining the competitive meta, but it did
really
happen
was.
with Pepe.
I've seen a lot of deck mixes with Perform House.
Yeah, I mean, Perform Pals aren't garbage, completely. Like,
No, I mean,
people play.
Drummerella, every monster, I believe it's every monster, or was it Silverclaw? Like when you enter the attack phase, it gained a certain amount. Every single monster you controlled.
Every Perform, that's Silverclaw.
Yeah, it is Silverclaw. Okay, so there's boom. a huge stack right there.
Yeah, the big thing though is that it has great searches. Like even I run the one copy of Skullcrobat Joker I'm allowed to in my odd
Yeah,
eyes
because he searched odd eyes.
Yeah, and he's also a high scale.
Mhm.
Like
8.
all of them are really really versatile. But yeah, holy crap, pendulum decks with Pot of Desires, that's a nightmare. What if you banish like most of your high scales?
Yeah.
Then you
Okay,
just
then
can't
your
play.
deck is
Yeah,
done.
then you
Yeah.
just can't fucking play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't know. That's even more negativity about it. I mean, I can't see anything good.
Why is +2 over top
Negative
of
10.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a guaranteed win. Because if you do get what you need off that +1, like people again, we don't play in the main competitive, so we don't exactly get to see why this is so important. But getting that one extra card over your opponent can most of the time guarantee you to win.
Yeah, but -10. I don't know.
It's only, but those cards in your deck technically aren't like live. They're not in play until they're in your hand, so they don't matter
Best deck
except for what they might or might not be.
The best deck I have right now has like the most powerful draw engine I've ever had.
All right, so I guess that's the bottom line. All three of us here at the channel, not really down for Pot of Desires.
I say no.
So, you probably won't see any of us scrambling for boxes of Dark Illusions, at least for that.
I might my birthday soon.
Buy Brandon packs for his birthday.
Yeah.
I would love that.